Have you ever been like scrolling through social media late at night and you see one of those ultra fit wellness influencers?
Oh, absolutely.
Right, you know the exact video I mean. They are stepping out of this absolutely gorgeous glowing wooden cabin in their master bathroom, and they're wiping this perfectly aesthetic drop of sweat from their forehead.
Usually with some sort of lo-fi chill hop playing in the background.
Exactly. And you look at that and you can't help but wonder, like, could I actually put one of those in my own house? Or is having a personal sauna strictly a luxury reserved for billionaires and, I don't know, professional athletes?
Yeah, that aesthetic appeal is incredibly potent. I mean, it is driving a massive surge in consumer interest right now.
It really is.
The fantasy of just rolling out of bed and walking into a private wellness retreat is super compelling. But the physical reality of bringing a massive heated wooden enclosure into a residential space is, well, it's an entirely different undertaking.
Which is exactly our mission for today's deep dive. We are cutting straight through the clever wellness marketing and those perfectly curated Instagram feeds to find out if an at-home sauna is actually worth your hard-earned investment.
And to figure this out, we're cross-referencing two really distinct sources.
Right. We have the official, glossy product specifications straight from LifePro, and we are putting those claims to the test against a comprehensive independent review blog, one that breaks down the unvarnished, real-world performance of the LifePro RejuvaCure Duet 2-person infrared sauna.
Because comparing the polished marketing copy against the harsh reality of, a massive freight delivery arriving at your front door provides a crucial reality check.
Definitely.
You really get to see the friction between what the manufacturer promises and what the customer actually experiences.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because if you step back, we're seeing a fundamental shift in how people view their homes.
Yeah, the whole home wellness trend.
Exactly. Think about 10 or 15 years ago, right? We had the massive home gym boom. People realized they didn't need to drive to a crowded commercial gym to get a great workout. They could just buy a decent treadmill or a set of adjustable dumbbells for their garage.
And now we are seeing the exact same migration happen with wellness and recovery.
The sauna is moving from this high-end spa amenity into something resembling an everyday household appliance. But before you drop a couple of $1,000s, you really need to know if this specific appliance can actually deliver.
Well, we have to establish the physical footprint first, because this is, it's not a casual purchase.
Not at all.
The LifePro RejuvaCure Duet is an indoor 2-person infrared sauna designed for regular home use. I mean, it is a substantial permanent piece of furniture.
Yeah, you are not buying a flimsy zip-up, pop-up tent that you can just fold away into a closet when company comes over.
No, substantial feels like an understatement here.
If you order this, you are committing serious real estate in your home. The unit weighs 276 pounds. Right. And the outer dimensions are roughly 47 inches long, 41 inches wide, and 75 inches high.
So you aren't just tucking a quarter ton of wood into the corner of a cramped studio apartment.
No, it demands a dedicated space with stable flooring.
You also have to evaluate the raw materials, which dictate both the safety and the longevity of the device.
What's it actually made of?
So the entire cabinet is constructed from solid Canadian hemlock wood, and it's enclosed by a heavy tempered glass front door.
Okay, wait, I have to ask. Why Canadian hemlock? Is that just like a fancy botanical buzzword they slap on the brochure to justify a premium price tag? Or does the specific species of wood actually matter when you're just sitting and sweating inside a box?
Oh, the wood selection is absolutely critical, specifically regarding heat tolerance and chemical safety.
Okay, how so?
Well, hemlock is a highly dense, low-resin wood. If you construct a sauna out of a high-resin wood, meaning it has a lot of sap inside the fibers, introducing extreme heat will cause that wood to warp and crack.
And I imagine it leaks sap.
Exactly. It secretes this sticky sap everywhere. And it can also emit a very harsh odor. Hemlock, on the other hand, remains structurally stable and odorless even at prolonged high temperatures.
That makes a lot of sense.
But the most vital detail from the product specifications is that LifePro pairs this hemlock with non-toxic water-based adhesives.
Meaning no cheap industrial glues melting when the temperature spikes.
Right. Because in budget-tier heated enclosures, manufacturers often cut costs by using standard industrial adhesives.
And what happens when those heat up?
When those saunas heat up, the volatile organic compounds in the glue begin to vaporize. Because you are sitting inside a small, relatively sealed box, you end up inhaling those vaporized chemicals.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, it's a process known as off-gassing. By utilizing solid hemlock and water-based adhesives, they're actively preventing that toxic off-gassing. That ensures the air remains safe to breathe while your body's under thermal stress.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be trying to detoxify your body while simultaneously inhaling toxic leaf fumes. That defeats the whole purpose.
Exactly.
So with premium timber and non-toxic construction, my immediate thought goes to the price tag. Are we talking celebrity level money here?
Actually, it falls comfortably into the mid to premium tier for consumer wellness devices.
Okay.
It retails around $2,499, which the sources note is a significant markdown from its original MSRP of over $3,500.
Oh, that's a pretty big drop.
Yeah, you can typically find it at that $2,500 price point at Walmart or directly through LifePro, though it sometimes peaks around $2,799 at sporting goods retailers like Academy Sports.
Still, $2,500 isn't exactly pocket change.
It's not, but there is a fascinating financial loophole mentioned in the sources. This unit is actually HSA and FSA eligible if you obtain a letter of medical necessity from a doctor.
Wait, really? That changes the financial calculus entirely for anyone with a health savings account.
It's a huge deal.
Using pre-tax dollars to buy this essentially gives you a built-in discount of around 30%, depending on your tax bracket. So, the wooden shell is safe, sturdy, and potentially tax-advantaged. But a premium wooden box is just a box until you plug it in. How is this thing actually getting you to sweat?
Right, so the RejuvaCure Duet operates on what we can define as a triple therapy system.
Triple therapy?
Yeah, it basically abandons traditional heating methods in favor of 3 distinct modern modalities.
Okay, let's break those down. What's the first one?
The primary driver is the far-infrared heating system. The cabin is lined with 7 distinct carbon fiber heaters that generate internal temperatures ranging from 86 degrees to 140 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, wait, 140 degrees. I've been in traditional gym saunas where the thermometer on the wall reads like 180 or 190 degrees. 140 degrees honestly sounds a little weak for a deep sweat.
I get why you'd think that. The temperature is lower, but the mechanism of action, like how the heat actually interacts with your biology, is completely different.
How so?
A traditional steam or rock sauna relies on convection. It superheats the ambient air around you. So you are sitting in a room full of burning hot air, which eventually warms the surface of your skin.
Right, and it can feel totally suffocating.
Exactly. Many people find it incredibly difficult to breathe in there. Far-infrared technology bypasses the ambient air almost entirely.
So it's heating me, not the room.
Precisely. The carbon fiber panels emit specific wavelengths of radiant light energy, specifically between 5.6 and 15 microns.
And what do those microns do?
Well, because human tissue absorbs these specific wavelengths so efficiently, the radiant energy penetrates beneath the surface of your skin, interacting directly with your muscle tissue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it heats your body from the inside out. That triggers a profound detoxifying sweat and elevates your heart rate at a much slower, more comfortable ambient room temperature.
That sounds amazing, actually. You get the cardiovascular benefits and the deep muscle relaxation without feeling like you are breathing in fire. So that covers the first therapy. The second layer is the red light therapy. The sources note there is an integrated red light panel inside the cabin operating at 600 to 850 nanometer wavelengths. Why those specific numbers?
Those specific wavelengths mark the difference between a simple colored light bulb and an actual biological intervention.
Okay, a biological intervention. That sounds intense.
It is. When light at 600 to 850 nanometers penetrates your skin, it reaches the mitochondria inside your cells.
The powerhouse of the cell.
The powerhouse of the cell, exactly. They are responsible for producing ATP, or adenosine triphosphate, which is essentially the cellular energy currency of your body.
So the red light is literally feeding the cells energy.
It is stimulating the mitochondria to produce ATP more efficiently.
Incredible.
And this uptick in cellular energy accelerates regeneration. It is clinically studied to encourage collagen production for skin health, reduce localized inflammation, and speed up muscle recovery.
That's a huge benefit for anyone using this after a workout.
Absolutely. Furthermore, the combination of these therapies is highly synergistic.
How do they work together?
When your body temperature is elevated and your circulation is pumping due to the infrared heat, your cells are highly receptive. That potentially enhances the absorption and efficacy of that red light.
So it's a compounded biological benefit. But then we arrive at the third therapy.
The chromotherapy.
Yes. The spec sheet boasts a chromotherapy system. 9 different lighting modes across 6 colors. You can switch to a red light for energy, a blue light for calming, a green light for detoxing.
Right.
Here's where it gets really interesting, but also where I need a serious reality check from you.
Lay it on me.
We have invisible infrared waves heating my muscles. We have 800 nanometer red light stimulating my mitochondria to make ATP. And now we just have colored mood lighting.
Yeah.
Is chromotherapy rooted in the same hard science, or is this just a giant, expensive mood ring?
The independent review source is refreshingly candid about this distinction, actually. Okay. You have to separate the clinical evidence from the holistic tradition here.
Okay, so it is different.
Very different. Red light therapy has a robust foundation of peer-reviewed clinical data backing its cellular impact. Chromotherapy, conversely, has an evidence base that is almost entirely anecdotal.
So the green light isn't magically reaching into my bloodstream to pull out heavy metals?
No, it will not provide measurable physiological changes on a cellular level. Chromotherapy operates purely on a psychological level.
It's vibes.
Exactly. It impacts your mood and the immediate ambiance of your environment. Bathing the cabin in cool tones like blue or violet can genuinely help lower psychological stress and calm an overactive mind after a long day.
Sure, I can see that.
And warm colors might make the space feel more energizing. It significantly enhances the mental relaxation of the ritual, but anyone expecting physical healing purely from the colored LEDs will be disappointed.
Hey, as long as you know what you're getting, mood lighting is a nice touch. And speaking of nice touches, the unit is packed with creature comforts.
Oh, it really is.
It features built-in Bluetooth speakers, an internal USB port so your phone doesn't die while you're listening to a podcast, an oxygen ionizer to purify the air inside the cabin, and physical accessories like cup holders, a towel knob, and a magazine rack.
They really thought of the user experience.
But are the speakers actually good, or do they sound like a 1990s drive-through intercom? Because I've bought stuff like this before where the speakers are just trash.
Reviewers specifically noted the Bluetooth speakers are of, quote, decent quality, which is a pleasant surprise in a market where audio components are usually a total afterthought.
That's a relief.
And these additions speak to the core design philosophy of the product, which is habit formation.
Habit formation?
Yeah, if you have to sit in a silent, sterile wooden box for 45 minutes, you will eventually stop using it. By integrating your music, a place for your water bottle, and a fresh air ionizer, they are removing the friction of daily use.
That makes total sense. But all of those clinical therapies and convenient cup holders sound fantastic on a slick marketing website. The reality of dropping a massive appliance into a spare bedroom has to come with some serious trade-offs.
Oh, there are always trade-offs.
What happens when we analyze the actual pros and cons of the RejuvaCure Duet? Let's start with the pros.
The most prominent pro highlighted across the sources is the sheer performance of the heating system. Utilizing 7 distinct carbon heaters, including full-length panels along the side walls, creates an incredibly fast and even heat distribution.
So no cold spots.
Exactly. It completely eliminates the frustrating cold spots that plague cheaper single heater models where your back is burning but your feet are freezing.
That sounds miserable.
Additionally, the unit features a low EMF design.
Wait, hold on. Low EMF. You see that acronym slept on a lot of premium wellness gear, but what does it actually mean in plain English? And why should anyone care if their sauna has it?
Sure. So EMF stands for electromagnetic fields. Any device that uses electricity, from your microwave to your smartphone to the wiring in your walls, emits a certain level of electromagnetic radiation.
Right.
While the scientific consensus on the long-term dangers of low-level EMF exposure is still debated, sitting completely surrounded by powerful electrical heaters for 45 minutes a day naturally raises concerns about concentrated exposure.
I mean, you're literally sitting inside an electrical box.
Precisely. A low EMF design utilizes shielded wiring and specific heater construction to cancel out those electromagnetic fields, bringing the emission levels down to practically zero.
Oh, that's great.
If you plan on making this a daily habit, that low EMF rating is a critical safety standard.
Good to know. Another massive pro we have to talk about is the warranty. The sources emphasize this unit comes with a lifetime warranty.
The economics of a lifetime warranty on a device like this really cannot be overstated.
Because it's a huge liability for them.
Right. When a company offers lifetime backing on an electronic device subjected to constant, extreme thermal stress, they're taking on a massive liability unless they're absolutely certain about their build quality.
It provides the consumer with an enormous safety net for a $2,500 investment.
Yes, but the cons are glaring, and they start the moment the delivery driver drives away.
Uh-oh.
The independent review makes it explicitly clear that assembling this sauna is an absolute nightmare.
So it's basically flat pack furniture from hell.
It is a profound logistical hurdle. The heavy tempered glass front door is notoriously difficult to maneuver.
I can imagine. Glass is so heavy.
Attempting to balance and install it as a single person is nearly impossible and highly risky. It absolutely demands a two-person team.
And to make matters worse, the instructions seem actively hostile.
They really do.
The review highlights complaints about missing pre-drilled holes in the hemlock and electrical wires that arrived completely unlabeled. You aren't just slotting tab A into slot B, you're playing a high-stakes guessing game with the wiring harness of a heating appliance.
Which is terrifying.
That will test the patience of even the strongest marriage, for sure. Another con that stood out is the total lack of smart features.
Yeah, this is a big one for a lot of people.
There is no smartphone app. You can only control the temperature via the physical control panel inside the unit or the included remote.
In an era where you can preheat your kitchen oven from your office desk, the absence of Wi-Fi integration feels distinctly antiquated.
It really does.
You cannot start the sauna while driving home from the gym. You must physically walk over to the unit, turn it on, and wait for the ambient temperature to rise before getting in.
My coffee maker can talk to my phone, so having a $2,500 wellness pod that requires manual operation feels like a huge missed opportunity.
I agree completely.
Lastly, on the cons list, we have to look at the interior dimensions. It's marketed as a two-person sauna, but the reality is a bit more cramped.
Yes, the interior width is 43.3 inches. That provides a luxurious amount of space for a single person to stretch out.
But for two.
If two average-sized adults attempt to use it simultaneously, they will be sitting shoulder to shoulder in a rigid, upright posture. It is a very snug fit.
So we've mapped the impressive medical technology against the harsh reality of unlabeled wires and tight quarters. But how does this scale when hundreds of actual consumers put it to the test?
Let's look at the data.
Looking at the verified customer reviews, the consensus is surprisingly dominant. On Walmart's platform, the RejuvaCure Duet holds a 4.7 out of 5-star rating across 451 verified reviews.
Maintaining a 4.7-star average across a sample size of nearly 500 purchasers is a statistical anomaly for a complex, heavy appliance.
It really is.
It strongly suggests the product consistently over-delivers on its core promises once it's operational.
Let's ground those numbers with the actual voices of the buyers. Dawn L. reported that after just a short time using the unit, she experienced a noticeable reduction in joint pain and an overall increase in daily energy.
That's amazing.
Mason C. validated the engineering, praising how rapidly the cabin reaches optimal temperature and how flawlessly it maintains that even full-body heat.
No cold spots like we talked about.
Exactly. And a user named Chrissy R., who noted she was a first-time sauna buyer, was thrilled with the structural integrity of the hemlock and how aesthetically pleasing the cabin looked inside her home.
The criticisms, however, follow a very specific and revealing pattern.
Let's hear the bad stuff.
A reviewer named Christine M. still awarded the product 4 stars, noting how much she loved the daily sweat sessions. But she dedicated her review to venting about the agonizing assembly process, specifically calling out those unlabeled wires we discussed.
Ah, the wiring game.
Right.
What about the space issue?
Anna F. echoed the spatial constraints. She found the interior to be a much tighter fit than the marketing photos implied for 2 adults, and she strongly lamented having to walk down to her basement just to turn the unit on because there was no app.
What's fascinating here is the stark divide between the complaints and the praise.
It's so clear.
Every major piece of negative feedback, like the missing drilled holes, the heavy glass door, the lack of remote start, the tight dimensions, it's all entirely logistical.
Right.
They are localized to the setup phase and the spatial reality of the box. But the praise, the joint pain relief, the intense heat penetration, the build quality, the surprisingly good Bluetooth audio, that is entirely functional.
The machine executes its purpose flawlessly. It delivers the physiological benefits of infrared and red light therapies exactly as advertised. You simply have to survive the initial weekend ruining assembly process to unlock those benefits.
The friction is temporary, the biological return on investment is permanent.
Exactly.
So the pattern is undeniable.
Right.
It brings us to the ultimate question for you, listening right now. Is this massive appliance the right fit for your home? Let's define the profile of the ideal buyer.
Well, the RejuvaCure Duet is uniquely positioned for individuals or couples who want a comprehensive all-in-one wellness hub. If you want the deep cardiovascular sweat of far infrared heat, the cellular regeneration of red light therapy, and the mood enhancement of chromotherapy housed in one non-toxic unit, this delivers elegantly.
It's also the perfect match for someone who prioritizes long-term security over finding the absolute cheapest option online.
For sure.
Dropping a couple of $1,000s requires confidence, and that lifetime warranty provides an incredible safety net. But you must have the logistical capacity.
You need the space.
You need a dedicated footprint of at least 47 by 41 inches. You need a patient friend to help you lift that glass door, and you need the budget. Whether that's utilizing an HSA account, FSA funds, or leveraging the available financing options that can drop the cost to around $128 a month.
Conversely, there are consumer profiles who should undoubtedly pass on this model.
Who should skip it?
If you are a household of 2 taller or broader adults who want to stretch out comfortably side by side without bumping knees, the 43-inch interior will feel way too restrictive.
You also need to look elsewhere if you are a smart home perfectionist. If your daily routine demands that your wellness tech syncs with your smartphone, so it's preheated the moment you pull into your driveway, the manual operation of this unit will drive you crazy.
Oh, totally.
And if you are strictly shopping on a tight budget, there are single-person, bare-bones infrared models that will induce a sweat for a fraction of this price, albeit without the hemlock build or the red light therapy.
So summarizing the evidence from both the specifications and the independent review, the LifePro RejuvaCure Duet fulfills its core objective with distinction.
It really does.
It generates deeply penetrating, low EMF, far infrared heat. It incorporates genuine, biologically active red light therapy. It utilizes safe, non-toxic Canadian hemlock, and it protects the consumer with a nearly unheard of lifetime warranty.
While the lack of an app and the brutal assembly process are valid hurdles, the 4.7-star consensus proves that for the vast majority of owners, it is a highly effective tool for daily physical recovery. So what does this all mean? It means a home sauna is the opposite of an impulse buy. You don't just tap add to cart from your phone without taking a tape measure to your spare bedroom first.
Please don't do that.
But if you have the dedicated space, the budget, and the patience to conquer the assembly instructions, this product is an absolute home run. It literally brings the clinical spa experience directly into your spare room.
It really does.
If you are ready to upgrade your home wellness routine and start experiencing the deep heat and cellular recovery for yourself, you can buy the LifePro RejuvaCure Duet 2-person infrared sauna right now at the link in the description below.
And, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the rapid adoption of massive permanent wellness appliances marks a monumental shift in domestic life.
It really is a shift.
We are taking clinical-grade therapies, technologies that historically demanded a costly spa membership, a booked appointment, or a specialized clinic, and we are hardwiring them directly into our residential spaces.
It's wild to think about.
It raises an important question for you to explore. As our houses increasingly swallow up the functions of the outside world, becoming our gyms, our offices, our movie theaters, and now our high-end wellness retreats, how does that ultimately change our fundamental relationship with the community outside our front door?
Are we engineering these perfect glowing sanctuaries so we never actually have to leave them? It is a fascinating concept to chew on the next time you see one of those influencers stepping out of their personal home spa. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Keep learning, stay curious, and enjoy the pursuit of knowledge. See you next time.
As the chemicals, they take us high.